All right, interesting article from Pierre LeBrun of The Athletic, certainly making some waves on social media when it comes to Jack Eichel. Quotes, and while I'm not saying the Star Center will get traded before the end of the playoffs, what I'm hearing is that conversations between the Buffalo Sabres and other interested teams are getting more intense and serious. The article goes on to name some of those teams that LeBrun thinks might be a good fit or have had conversations already. Philly, LA, the Rangers, Columbus, Ducks, and Minnesota. Could ask Dean Evison about that, I guess. But what do you make of what we're hearing now? Things starting to percolate surrounding Jack Eichel and maybe getting it done ahead of the trade deadline so that Buffalo has some more assets going into this year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of different ways that they could go if they could get a deal done now. Obviously, any draft picks that they acquire may be in play this year, and that is something that I hear internally they're specifically targeting. Now, Jack Eichel, a guy that's been a point-a-game player since his second year in the league, would be a 100% guaranteed certainty of knowing what you're going to get, if not for a few teams questioning the injury. That's been tough for people to be able to gauge. Now, I can tell you that most people do have a high comfort level, but not everybody. That really complicates things and makes it more challenging for Buffalo because of Jack's age and the potential career that's still in front of him. This is not an easy deal to make, but if you're going to make it, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened before the draft.
Yeah, and the medical professionals are going to be consulted on this one, not only from Buffalo's side to kind of gauge where he is, but for potential suitors as well to get an accurate picture, as accurate as you can get in terms of where he is now with his health and what you project him to be come opening night. Look, Jack Eichel to me is a real transformational player. I think he has a chance to be a generational player based on his combination of skill and size. I loved him at BU. I think what's challenging for him is, for Buffalo, it hasn't worked out. They've done a lot of different things, different general managers, different coaches, and unfortunately, Buffalo's stuck in a rut as an organization. And for them to realize at this point, hey, listen, maybe we're better off if we go separate ways. How can we maximize our return for Jack Eichel? What can we best do? Is it 4 pieces? Is it 5 pieces? But nonetheless, Jay, with those teams that you outlined, all 5 of those teams, and maybe a couple more, are certainly well poised to be able to make the deal, especially LA with their prospect and draft capital.
They have the pieces. The asking point, as near as we could tell, was starting with 5 assets. I'm not sure you can get that in the type of assets we used to see. It used to be the old, I need a first-rounder, I need a prospect off your roster that's an A prospect, and I need a young player that looks like he's going to be good. The world has changed. We'll see how it plays out in the end. But a team like LA, yes, they could do that. Would they put a guy like Byfield potentially on the table? Would that be enough? I don't think so alone, but how much greater would it have to be is the question that's lingering for a lot of teams.
All right, only time will tell if Jack Eichel is on the move from Buffalo.